All right, friends, welcome to the next video. In this video, we're going to be talking about fill displacements, how to displace your fills. Now, the first thing you want to do again is detach your ears from the voices. If you're used to hearing certain voices on the downbeat or whatever beat you have your ear attached to, you're going to lose your place in the timeline. So it's very important to detach your ears from the voices. Now, a really simple exercise to do is this. You're going to play hand to hand, and you're going to put the high tom on different subdivisions like E, and duh. All right? Remember, the purpose of this is to start to detach your ear from the voices. So it's just going to be like this. I'm going to go from downbeats to the E's, the and the does on the high tom. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's a real simple exercise to get your thing going. If you want to do this type of thing around the kit, just that exercise, you're gonna have to deal with motion on the kit, and that's a whole other story. You have to deal with things like right hand lead and orchestration and stuff like that. All right, so for now, this is the main purpose, okay, to detach your ears from the voices. Now, what I suggest also is doing a groove and trying to do fills with certain subdivisions like the E, okay? Like the E in mind. So just, this is an example. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay? That type of thing is going to help you move ahead in displacing your fills. Now, another exercise I think that is very beneficial is this thing that everybody does this, 2 on the snare, 2 on the bass drum, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what you're going to do is displace that, okay? So you're going to start it on the E. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, you're going to start it on the ands and the duh. Here's the ands. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, and of course, the does. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's very important to go through those things so that you have to practice them before you attempt them in music. All right, very important not to lose your spot in the timeline. If you do, the whole band's going to be screwed. So just keep that in mind all the time. Now, of course, there's many variations to this. You can do 3 on the snare, 2 on the bass drum, and that starts to get more complex because we get into groups of 5. Groupings of 5 displaced, all right? I'm just going to give you an example. I'm going to do this, 3 on the snare, 2 on the bass drum, and moved over to the E's. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sounds beautiful, okay? But give yourself a chance to hear it and play it before you start to do things like improvising and putting it into songs, into music, all right? So eventually what happens is you can use this type of thing to create a free-flowing type of feeling in your fills. The next thing to do is, of course, 3-bar cycle work and groups of 5, 7, and 9. So I'm just going to give you an idea of what it sounds like with the 3-bar cycle, using the 3-bar cycle to create fills. If you don't know what the 3-bar cycle is, it's time to join the lesson site. It's time to get serious and figure out what drumming is all about, because it's not about patterns and beats and a couple of fills. You know, you really have to study rhythm, and it's a profound study. All right, so this is the 3-bar cycle used as a fill. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to move that around, if you want to displace that to the E's, which we call the second melody, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Right hand lead, again, is the tool I'm using to get around. You have all the permutations of the 3-bar cycle. Let's take the second permutation, okay? And you're going to start it on the E's. The second permutation is 1 E and a 2 E and a, okay? 1 E and a 2 E and a, 1 E and a 2 E and a 1. All right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what that sounds like. All right. There are many permutations, like I said. There's an infinity amount of things that you can do, and the voices are going to want to throw you if you don't have a clear concept of what you're doing with the rhythmic vocabulary. All right. So now I'm just going to play some examples for you of free-flowing ideas as fills using the concepts that we're talking about. I'm also going to include groups of 5, 7, and 9. All right, see if you can hear this inside of what I'm playing. I'm just going to use a simple funk groove again, since that's a very common motif. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right? All those things are beat displacements. I'm using rhythmic motifs to displace phrases and create a free-flowing vocabulary. That's the difference between sounding binary and sounding ternary, or playing and with odd groupings and stuff like that. It's a whole world of rhythm out there. If you're bored of your playing, if you're bored of the things you've been playing for a while, that means you're not using rhythm as your basis of vocabulary. You're using licks and beats, and you're playing by rote. Okay, drumming is not about that. To get to this point where you have free expression, you have to understand rhythmic elements. All right. I'm going to play again for you, just so you can hear some more ideas, and well, just get your ear used to it. Once you hear the 3-bar cycle and all these phrases, you start to hear it everywhere because everybody uses them, right? Every great drummer uses this vocabulary. So here we go. Same motif, just kind of funky. 1, 2. I could go on and on and on with these type of things. I'm using a lot of different vocabulary in there. What we just explained, 3-bar cycle, odd groupings and stuff like that, okay? I get a lot of questions, about this type of playing, because I use this a lot in every style, right? I mean, it can be used in Brazilian, and Afro-Cuban, and fusion, and funk, and so many styles. It really is an essential piece of vocabulary, okay? All essential pieces of vocabulary. Okay, so I know this is a whole lot of stuff, man. And there's no short explanation of it. You have to slowly get used to this. You have to study piece by piece. And I really suggest, if you want to get it together, man, join the lesson site. You're not going to be able to do this on your own. It's going to take you a decade, okay, to decipher all this stuff. On the lesson site, it's all handed to you on a silver platter, for you to mess around with and get it into your playing. Okay, friends, let me just play you out a little bit more, and so you can hear some more ideas. I'm going to use this 2 on the snare, 2 on the bass drum idea, linear concepts, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go on and on and on forever, because one phrase leads to another, and it's like a gigantic puzzle that you have to follow, and it's like chess, you have to see the moves way in advance, 25 moves in advance, whatever it is. You have to find the cycles and see them and hear them, and it's a beautiful way to improvise. All right, friends, thanks for watching this. The lesson site's waiting for you. $250 gets you into the full year program. We have the elite program. We have lifetime memberships, hand consultations, and I have online evaluations now. I'll tell you where to stand, and I'll help you reach your goals with lesson plans and stuff like that. Okay, thanks for watching. Peace. Hi, friends. I'm here to tell you about an exciting new program I have on my lesson site. It's called the Elite Program. In this program, you're going to be working with me very, very closely while I guide you through the entire site. The Elite Program, why do I call it that? Because I'm searching for the most dedicated people to study this material. If you want to be a professional drummer, you're going to have to change your life. You're going to have to put drums ahead of everything. And I'm here to make sure that that decision is something that's going to benefit your life in the most positive way it can. Some websites have guest artists that come in and show you some stuff for about an hour, and then they leave and you never hear from them again. You're stuck with the guys on the site that may or may not have much experience at all. In this program, you're going to be working with me directly, 3 hours a day for an entire week online, okay? We're going to be having conference online, video conference, 3 hours a day for a week. In this week, I'm going to guide you through everything, prepare you. I'm going to watch you play. I'm going to watch you practice. We're going to work together on things in the moment, okay, which is very important. Now, why the price, you may ask? Well, an online video session with me usually costs $270 for 2 hours. A private lesson with me in New York costs $100 an hour. A lot of guys charge a lot more than $100, maybe $200, $300 an hour. My price is $100 an hour. I think that's fair. So if you take that many hours with me, okay, 7 times 3, that's 21, that's $2,100. The price of the course is $1,900. So you're already saving $400 by doing it this way. $400 savings. Plus, you have the full year membership to the site with email support, Skype support, and everything else. This unique study situation has been brought about by the technology we enjoy today. Before, you would have had to travel to New York, hang out with me, come to my house, you know, have all those expenses of going to New York, which many guys have done. But now we can do things in a much more, let's say, efficient basis, more economical, and a way that you can be constantly in touch, not only having me in New York there while you're there. Okay, so this is, I think, an amazing opportunity to study. I've taught at some of the best drumming institutions in the world. That's not something that everybody can say. And I have all that knowledge right here waiting for you. If you're serious about your drumming, the lesson site is there. And I'm there as well, ready to make sure you get the most out of the drumming experience and having drums in your life. Okay? I hope you will check out the Elite program. The most innovative curriculum there is comes from having the experience from teaching all over the world, drummers at every level from the highest drumming cultures on the planet. What you're going to need to participate is a way to interact with me online. You need to have a drum set up with your camera, your phone, or whatever. It has to sound halfway decent, and a good Wi-Fi connection so we have uninterrupted streaming. Now, as far as the price goes, if you use PayPal, you can break up the payments. PayPal offers you a variety of ways you can pay. You can use your credit card, and if you don't have access to those things, just write me and we'll figure out a way. But this is a very important program and I think you're gonna love it. It's not a common opportunity to study drums, so I hope you'll take it and make the best of it. All right, folks, see you on the Elite program. Peace.